there's a Jordan Weston, good name for Baird Weston, and Barbara Jordan. So there are other people that are involved in the community. There's what we used to call At the Beach, and it's not called the LA Black Pride, is now Pride and Promote. These are people that get together, they do conferences, they do socialization, they do activities to bring us together. One of the prominent organizations in Los Angeles in particular is the In the Meantime Men's Group. And that's a group that I've been a part of that help support me, and they continue to support me when it comes to activity. There are projects like the NEAR Project and Project Elevate. We deal with mentoring, and we talk about AIDS and HIV. We have weekly meetings that deal with those issues and subjects, from self-esteem to taking on people and projects, speaking out for yourselves, finding an attorney, handling your business when it comes to family. Do you have a will or a living trust? If you need medical attention, are you getting the right medical attention? With a level that HIV and AIDS has hit in the United States and hit the Black community, not just LGBT, but the Black community, period. We are into that. We're out getting people registered to vote. We had other groups in history, the Gay and Lesbian Leadership Forum. We've had the AIDS Prevention Team. There's a Minority AIDS Project. You know, Archbishop Carl Bean has been at the forefront for many years. Over the last 30 years, he's been out there supporting and telling people, you know, love is for everyone. And that's one of the things I think in Brazil, if they would talk about love is for everyone, and it's not just for those that have money, not just for those that have a particular education, not just for those that look different than you, not just for those that live in a certain community. I think that will give them a sense to progress. Because here, we face some of the same issues. It's just different. I think perhaps when it comes to LGBT issues and Black LGBT issues, we're probably, in many instances, 30 or 40 years ahead. And that's hard for me to discover. When I saw it, I was perplexed, because I know life is complicated, and I was a visitor, a guest in Brazil, so I accept that. However, I looked at it like, what can I do to help? What can I do to provide an option, a solution, while I'm working on myself at the same time?
The reason you keep thinking why the special guest is here today, I can give you a right answer, but for you understand why Mr. Jerome Woods is here today is for you, person of color, Brazilian, gay and lesbian, transgender. Our idea is to get somebody with the level of information, the level of understanding, and the capacity to contribute and elevate yourself to a better you as a gay, lesbian, transgender, and person of color in Brazil. The capacity to understand the knowledge of this person as a leader for this institution is to inspire and motivate you to already up, or you who's in a class and have some substantial contribution to do for your own community. Mr. Jerome, at this moment, how do you think the gay and lesbian in Brazil could better organize to have the level of representation, like you said, 40 years past, to become more present, to become more strong in Brazilian politically, financially, business?
I think that's excellent. I'm so glad you brought that up. And I would say that in line with an organization I was trying to think of before from New York, the National Black Justice Coalition. Usually it started with a few people saying we can, not we can't, or we won't be able to. That was a vision, there was some hope, there was an opportunity to find like-minded people that would lend themselves to something positive, something different, taking the chance, stepping out on faith. And I think Brazilians can do that. I see so many with talent and ability and creativity and the wherewithal, but think sometimes there isn't the vision. There isn't a sense of hope. And I know my grandmother, whom I love dearly, who passed on Valentine's Day, this coming Valentine, next month will be 8 years, was a maid. And she had vision. She had one child. She had vision for that child to do better. She had vision for that child to get married and have children, if she cared to. And that was passed on to me. My grandmother would tell me I can do anything I wanted to, be anything I wanted to be. And she helped that process along. I think having one person to mentor, one person to give you a pat on the back, to encourage works. I see so many people in Brazil, especially LGBT persons, that have the capacity to make a difference, to make change. Brazil is one of the most hospitable countries I've ever been to. I've been to quite a few. That was what most impressed me. On the other hand, not allowing those within the country to be themselves, especially those of Black African descent, and take part in the building of the country, into the rewards of the company, whether it be education, economy, or investments within the country or outside of it. I see two things. One is that those that are LGBT should make a difference and stand up and just say, here I am, and this is what I'm about. Even though I understand it might be difficult to do that. On the other hand, too, I think that they have to be aware that it might be detrimental to them. They may have to leave home. They may have to live together in a shelter. They may have to have someone that has a house say, okay, come. And I've seen that take place.
That means stand out for what they believe.
Yes, yes. I think it can be difficult. I've seen, because sometimes that economy doesn't allow you to do it. There's a guy I know in particular that lives in Brazil. He's probably in his early 30s. I've seen him over the last 5-6 years learn English better, learn other languages. I've seen him gather people from his neighborhood and teach them things, whether it's cooking, cleaning, so that they can take care of themselves. You know, things that work like we do with hygiene programs when it comes to, you know, the taking care of your own health, from dental work to being able to use condoms when having sex. So all of those things, I've seen him work with that. I've seen him get jobs for them. But then oftentimes he's without a job. Oftentimes the group has to break up and disband because there's no money, there's no project, there's no central location. So I know that can be difficult. It was difficult for us in the United States to learn, you know, in the 1800s, 1863, 1850, even 1880, to learn to read. We weren't given that opportunity. You know, we had to teach ourselves oftentimes, but responsibility for self. Then you can be responsible for others. So I think, as I think Marcus Garvey said in the US, you know, pull yourself up by your own bootstraps. You know, maybe it was Booker T. Washington that said that, but someone was able to stand on their own 2 feet and say, we can do better. And they were able to say, we can do better, we can go forward, and we can make things happen. I think in Brazil, that needs to take place. I don't see much of that happening, but I need to go there and learn more. As an example, I've seen many Brazilians seeing non-Black and people of color as being better, being a way out sometimes. There's an opportunity because more of the Europeans are traveling to Brazil. I see certain people of Black African descent from the United States and other places around the world. They may go to one particular area, but they don't really go and travel throughout Brazil. So you don't see them as often, you don't interact. And I know, as an example, when I'm in Rio or in Bahia, I see people preferring to relate to, in business, in romance, to people that are non-Black. I think because of just the opportunity.